Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, we have another chakra day, and it's funny. I wrote down in the description, I don't know if Kelly saw it, but I said, since Kelly's little chakra wand is healed now, we have decided to respond to Chakra Day. I didn't know if you saw that, Kelly. But that's with our good friend, Christinerichter, who is coming back to get, I think you said that you felt like you weren't aligned or something. Is that true?
Yeah, I said something feels off in my life.
Okay, well, let's see if we can fix some of that. So, Kelly, I'm gonna leave you I'm gonna let you do your stuff. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been on because I was sick, but things are going a lot better. Mm-hmm. And
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they say you really shouldn't do energy work if you're not, because then, you can take on negative stuff and then it can make things worse. I didn't want that. So,
no.
Yeah, but I'm glad to be doing better, and I'm really glad to be here with you. What I would like to do is kind of explain it, because maybe we have a new listener who hasn't been around for the other ones since it has been a while. And I'm just getting comfortable here. So, what chakras are we have 7 main energy centers in our body, and they're like wheels. And our breath helps control and energize these energy centers, and they all make up one big energy center, one big cycle. And they're corresponding with different systems in our body with how it works. They have different positions along our spine, and different nerves, different organs, and different emotions and processes all correspond with their own chakra. So what I do is I don't heal anyone, but I can help them heal themselves by removing any block, any negative energy, just helping to open them up, having them reach like their best potential. And then it's kind of up to that person what they do as far as keeping them open, staying away from negative things. We all get bombarded with situations in life, and it's quite common for them to, need some adjusting. If you end up getting stuck, sometimes an old trauma can resurface, or it can just be there and not dealt with, and then we end up having issues. So, everything's interconnected. So this is just, can show symptoms like illnesses or, physical pain kind of in a certain area will tell you which chakra. And if you really dive into it, then you can find out, this one deals with this. And, maybe I need to spend some time doing something specific for that to help heal and to help keep things right. So I'm still learning those things, but I happen to be pretty intuitive when I'm picking up on people's energies and what's going on, so I can help facilitate. But I have a little pendulum here. It's just a little gemstone on a string, basically. And you can use a paper clip with dental floss because it'll work the same. And what I'm doing is I'm rubbing my hands together really fast, creating friction, but it's also concentrating the energy there and getting the blood flowing. So I have this nice warm, tingly feeling in my hands. And then what I like to do is bring them about shoulder width apart and start bringing them together and slightly cupping until I feel some resistance, which for me is about 6 inches away from each other. And that's what we're doing there, is forming an energy ball. Some people feel that right away. It takes practice. People that tend to meditate will be able to feel it more readily, or those that are familiar with feeling different types of energy. But if people don't do it along with me, or they can't feel it, that doesn't mean that what I do isn't going to work, as well. It just means that if somebody wants to be able to, they'll have to work on it. But it doesn't affect the process. So I'm clearing off any residual energy off the pendulum, and I'm concentrating on the picture of your face. And I'm hearing a little, sharp noise feedback. Is anybody else hearing that?
I thought I heard a dog bark.
I don't have a dog.
Huh.
Spirit dog.
It's the storm. The storm's crossing the wires. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, we've got a big storm coming. Anybody in the Great Lakes area, batten down the hatches, get groceries, get ready to dig yourself out, because we can be getting over a foot of snow overnight. Then we're getting a bunch of lake effect. And Tuesday and Wednesday, we might have record low temperatures with negative 50 below wind chills, and it's 50. So
make sure and take care of your pets.
Exactly. Don't leave anything outside that, you don't want to have there, because they can blow away. We're going to be having blowing and drifting snow. Please don't leave your animals outside. Check on elderly. Don't leave your kid at the bus stop if you actually have school, which they're thinking a lot of them are closing. If you go out to remove snow, make sure that you are covered, because they're saying with wind chill as bad as it's going to be, people are going to be having hypothermia and frostbite under 15 minutes of being outside with exposure. So it's some pretty serious stuff heading our way. So, I'm just glad I have electricity and groceries. So let's get started. Are you reclined and relaxed?
I am reclined, relaxed, and ready to go.
All right, Christine, let's do this. For those of you who want to find out more, I have Good Vibrations Holistic Energy Work on Facebook, or you can find me at Kelly L. Walters out of Portage, Michigan. And if you, for some reason, don't have the ability to friend me, feel free to message me on Messenger, because I get those. So, all right. Your first one is your root chakra. That's basically the place that we sit on. It's at the base of our spine and kind of like the seat area. It's our most primal and important energy center. It's our instinct for survival and safety, and it's when we meditate and we ground ourselves, that would be that feeling of reaching through the ground to ground ourselves. That would be that chakra doing that. All the other ones kind of build up on it. And
is it better if he has her eyes closed?
It can be. I mean, okay, all right, okay. Good.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
But that's what I was just wondering. So you said that to her. Go on.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on doing this, so I'm glad you reminded us. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eyes are closed. Okay.
All right. So I'm concentrating on your face and your root chakra, and if my pendulum goes side to side or up and down, that would mean that there's a block for negative energy that we need to work on. If it goes in a circle and stays going that way, that lets me know that it's open, it's healthy, and kind of like the speed and the width of the circle lets me know how healthy it is. Let's see what we have. Starting out in a small circle, and I'm seeing if it's going to change, because sometimes it'll start out that way and then it'll go to something different pattern. Oh, yep, okay, yeah. It's going side to side now. So what that's telling me is it's on the way to being healthy. It's really not that far off. But there's something that is happening. And it might be a past event where you didn't feel safe, where you felt like you had some anxiety kicking in, you felt threatened in some way, and the residuals are there kind of creeping up. Does that sound like it's something familiar?
Yes. Yeah, that does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That will throw things off and affect the other ones as well, usually. So, I'm going to dig in and see what I find and see what I can remove. And, you know, by removing the block and the negative energy, it is not like a magic cure, fix-all type thing, because a lot of the work is going to fall on you, Christine, to be able to, once the thing is like dredged up and released, it's still something that you'd probably want to address and make sure that you have dealt with it in a healthy way and gone through the emotions, because sometimes we can have them stuck, and when we get stuck emotions where we put up our walls, then we're not thoroughly dealing with it, which it'll end up popping up in inopportune times, or we'll have triggers happen. So with this, you know, make sure that you're in a safe place and that you're able to let it out, and maybe with a friend. So, because I know that's really scary. Sometimes when people are able to break through and let it out, it can feel like you're afraid that it's never going to stop. Like if you cry, you feel like you're not going to stop. And so that's why I always recommend you having somebody you fully trust with you, especially when you've been through something. And at that point, then you're able to start healing and releasing. And I know it feels like life goes at the speed of light and we don't really have time for this, but it's one of those self-care things that we need to make time for. And when I say we, I'm also guilty of it. So it's a common type of reaction to just stuff it down and keep going. So let me see what I can do to get that unstuck and out. Ooh-wee. Yeah, there was a lot of pain in there. There was a lot of pain and some anxiety, but a lot of emotional pain. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Let me see what else. I don't think I've gotten it all. That was kind of like my way of reaching in and finding it. Wow. Yeah, you've been carrying around a heavy burden. How are you feeling right now?
I'm relaxed right now.
Do you feel any tingling or any kind of like weird sensation or warmth?
No.
Okay. Sometimes people do, sometimes they don't. It doesn't mean that it's any less effective. It's just some people's bodies just respond in different ways. If you were to see what I was doing and am doing, it's like I'm pulling an invisible chain, and it feels really, really heavy to me. And I haven't gotten it to be able to release yet because, yeah, this feels like, to me, it's not really a negative thing. It's more of, like, kind of anchored deep within. It's become part of you, part of the reason why you do things. Like, I feel like you're an activist, and I feel like this pain has kind of spurred you on to try to stop what happened and to help others. Is that sounding right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's important is to keep that momentum going to be able to help people, because that's really healing. But to hang on to the pain isn't healthy, because that can eat at us. And I'm feeling like it's coming from a really beautiful place with beautiful intentions, so that's why I'm feeling like it's not a negative energy type thing getting stuck. It's I feel like when you release it, it'll feel like a dam breaking at first, the flood of emotions coming out, but it's going to be a very cathartic release, and you'll find more peace in being able to help people. You won't feel the heartstring tugs and the kind of the lump in the throat swallowing it down. You won't be feeling that anymore. You'll be able to accept joy and love for yourself and others and let go of any guilt. And you shouldn't feel guilt in your situation. It's just natural that we respond like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Let me see if I can, it's a very beautiful energy, because it's showing me that you are really taking some deep steps on working on it. That you're
That's
transforming
true.
in some really positive ways. And I'm feeling like you're an inspiration for other people, whether you realize it or not, whether you get any feedback that way or not. And I feel like you need to have your story out there. You need to have it told, not by maybe a news reporter who can't see the beauty in it and the beauty of who you are, but maybe you and someone else can collaborate on a way to get your story told the way that it is from you. And I feel that's very important, and it's going to be very healing.
Okay.
And very inspirational. I really feel like it's something that people need, and that it's going to fulfill something deep within you by doing so. And it's going to help with the holes that you feel. It's going to help fill you, like a little different direction on your purpose. I'm feeling less burdensome in this area. Like, my muscles they were tense and now they're releasing, which is telling me that it's still kind of a gut level feeling, but it's not like carrying around a bowling ball anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I'm going to check it again and see what it tells me. Oh, okay. All right. We are definitely on the right track, because now it is doing what I call helicoptering. It is doing a big, wide, sweeping circle. And
Yay.
So that is open. That is, on its way to just, bigger and better things. There. I feel better about that. You're welcome. Do you feel better?
Yeah.
Good. The next one is the sacral, and that one's located between the belly button and the bikini line. And that one is our emotional body, our sensuality, and our creativity. And when we have gut feelings, it can either come from there or the solar plexus, which is between the belly button and like the sternum. So You might feel air bubbles moving. You might feel something. Some people don't feel it. And let's see what this tells us with the sacral. So far, it's doing a circle, which is good. And it's staying a circle so far. It's not big and sweeping like the root one, but it's a very healthy circle. So let me see what I find when I go in there. I just got like a sensation between my belly button and, yeah, like in that area. Like, do you have indigestion sometimes, like acid reflux? Or
Yeah, I do. I was on
Okay.
medication for that at one time.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because it's like showing me like a burning sensation almost. Kind of like kind of like an urgency sometimes. Like when you gotta go now.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's tying in with nervous energy and the emotions that kind of get stored when things happen. Okay, let's see what I can do. Okay, that felt like it lifted. Like a rush of like anxiety type emotions came up, and then I was able to release. So let's see what the pendulum. Oh, okay, this is a bigger circle. And okay, now it's doing what the root was doing, where it's like super fast in a horizontal circle here. So that is definitely a good sign. Do you feel different?
No.
Okay. Well, that one was already doing pretty good, but I just wanted it to be better. So, the next one is the solar plexus. It's that one between the belly button and the sternum. That one is your center for personal power, self-esteem, warrior energy, and the power of transformation. So let's see what we've got. Okay, this one's doing a nice, big, sweeping circle. Not quite helicoptering like I like to say, like when it feels like it's going to take off on me. But it's the best one so far as when we started. So, and now it's starting to do the helicoptering. So what I'm thinking is that you have done a tremendous amount of work on yourself within, and it's showing me that the power of transformation has been huge so far, but you have further to go. But it's going to be starting to have things lifting and feeling like it's going your way. It's like you're going to start having some doors open to you, and I feel like it's not necessarily going to be happening right away. Like I'm seeing like 6 months out or later, you're going to start having doors open that you didn't expect. And
good.
Yeah, and some more public engagement, like maybe public speaking.
Yep, that could be.
Yeah, that, or I don't think blogging is going to be big enough for you, but it is quite possible that that you start jotting things down, and maybe somebody either asks you to write a book or you start writing, and then I'm feeling like it's going to be huge, and you're going to be doing a lot of speaking engagements about your book, and your book is going to include what you've been through and your transformation process. It's going to have a little bit with the justice system and needing to make changes, but it's also going to be a personal journey and empowering.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah. it's going to be empowering for you, but it's also going to be empowering for the reader who's found themselves in similar situations. And then they see that, oh my gosh, my life doesn't have to be ruined with this, So
right.
yeah, this is going to be really big for a lot of people, and a lot of people need this. So that's what I'm seeing is, in about 6 or 8 months, things are going to start really picking up as far as public speaking goes. The next one is your heart chakra, and that's the opening of feelings, compassion, capacity to love, and it doesn't like any conflicts. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, it's doing an okay circle. Just making sure that it's kind of wobbly and making sure that it's going to stay going in a circle. Sometimes when it's doing that, it'll change. Getting into a tighter circle, a little bit faster, smaller circles, smaller circles, smaller. Okay, now it's going slower, so what is it wanting to do? Okay, now it's going up and down. So,
oh boy.
that one, I think that's tied in with the root and, the emotions that get dredged up when, sometimes it might be a triggering event or something you hear or somebody talks about something. And it can also be what happened itself and, feeling powerless at the time. And sometimes it feels like in order to deal and move on with life, we have to stuff things down, which is the opposite of opening our feelings. And I'm feeling like with the capacity to love, it's also learning to love ourselves and forgive ourselves. And forgive the person, or people that have done things against us. And some people struggle with the forgiving the other person or people, and some people struggle with the forgiving themselves because sometimes they feel like they had a shortcoming, which, in retrospect really isn't one because there wasn't anything they could really do at the time. They just kind of, feel like the coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and that's something you want to stay away from because that's going to trap negative things. You want to move away from, the blame on self, like, what if I had done this? What if I had done that? What if I didn't do that? Because, that's going to open the door for not healing, and that's the opposite of what we want.
Right. You can't change what happened.
What?
You can't change what happened in the past, so.
Yeah, exactly. And, we can learn to accept what happened in the past, but that doesn't mean that we have to agree with it. It doesn't mean we like it. But we can accept it. We can go, allow ourselves to feel the emotions because that's very validating, to have emotions attached to something where we felt like we were in a situation that wasn't good for us. That validates that, it's okay because that's a natural reaction. And, to be feeling a whole bunch of different emotions, even conflicting ones, but we have to give ourselves the permission to heal because sometimes we feel like we have to go through something super nasty or walk through fire in order to heal, and that's not always the case. We have to be really gentle with ourselves, and sometimes we're our worst critics. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, it does.
Okay. Let me see what happens when I reach in here. Oh, wow. You have beautiful heart energy. You are a beautiful person in there.
Yay.
Yeah.
I try to be.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you have a lot of compassion. And I feel like you sometimes put other people first. And you got to, keep back that time for yourself every day, even if it's 10 minutes. And just nurture yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that was beautiful, actually. Let me check that one and see how we're doing. Okay. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Big sweeping circle, and I can barely hang on to it because it's going so fast. All right. Well, that's a lot better. All right. The next one is the throat chakra, and that's our ability to manifest and express our truth in the world. Let's see. Yeah, that one's doing that helicoptering. I don't feel like you have problem communicating what's going on.
No, I'm pretty blunt and say it like it is.
That's a good thing. You need to keep doing that. That's definitely a good thing because that one is like your healthiest. Right? I mean, right off the bat, it was like boom. So, yeah, what you're doing in that area, keep going in that direction. Your third eye is your intuition, and that has to do with patterns of learning and your memory skills, being able to perceive and trust what you're perceiving. And let's see how that one's going. So that one's a little bit wobbly, but it's making a big sweeping circle. It's not quite, trying to fly off my fingers like the other one, but it's still doing really well. I'm feeling like there's a little hesitation, and I think that has to do with learning to trust yourself, learning to trust your gut instinct, because I feel like sometimes it's conflicted with what you know in your head and what is in your heart, and sometimes the gut feeling, sometimes the three of them aren't lining up, or you're afraid that something's going to happen the way it did before, and you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Sometimes it feels like you might be putting patterns together that aren't quite a pattern, and then that confuses you because you're like, well, I thought this person was like so-and-so, but some of these things don't quite add up. I'm not sure how to judge this person or perceive what they're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I find myself in that position too sometimes, thinking, oh, wow, that was a jerky thing to do, and then realizing, oh, wait, maybe I wasn't quite perceiving this the way it was, you know? Yeah. Yeah, communication's going to be the key, and you're really good at communicating what's on your mind, but I feel like sometimes you're afraid to ask what's on somebody else's. Does that sound right?
I couldn't hear you. The phone was making noises.
Oh, I feel like you don't have any problem expressing what's on your mind, but sometimes you're afraid to ask what's on somebody else's because you're a little bit afraid to find out.
Definitely.
Okay, yeah. So I think, that's all what's coming into play with the third eye chakra is that little bit of hesitation, that wobbly, feeling, not quite sure if you are on the right track, but you feel like you are. And I think that comes with more experience down the road, and being able to open up your communication and be a little bit vulnerable helps other people to do the same. and just kind of stepping back and asking questions without trying to get upset, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Because that, if you're getting upset, that kind of closes off the other person, and that heightens the upset for both people. Okay, next one is the crown chakra, and that one's actually located slightly above our head. And that one is the access to higher states of consciousness, and it's being open to what is beyond our understanding. So that is like our connection with universe, with God, with like the oneness of all of us. Just kind of, if you think of our energies, our spirits, it's kind of like almost like a Wi-Fi connecting us all together. Mm-hmm. So let's see where we are. Okay, this is doing a big circle. It's not too hesitant. It's healthy, going around fast. It's not as fast as it could be. It's not doing the horizontal circle, but it's very close. And I think that has to do with learning to trust the source, trust the universe, trust God, trust the process, and that's going to come in time. To get that trust that everything's going to be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because a lot of times when we go through stuff, it doesn't feel like it was for a reason, and it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't feel fair, and those are all normal reactions, and I feel like you're on the right track, and you're heading for much better places. It's just, the getting there part is not fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through and check them all, because sometimes you can get one on the right track, but then the negative energy will jump to a different one or a previous one, and I just want to make sure that we're good. So
okay.
The root one, checking that one. Okay, that one is like going crazy fast. So there's no problem in your root chakra right now. Yeah, and the sacral. Let's see. That one started off a little bit slow. Now it's getting faster, faster, faster. It's getting hard to hang on to. It's not quite at the root chakra level, but it's going really super fast. And that's telling me that that's more of dealing with the emotional body. Getting things purged and released, that process. And you can't do it all at once because it can be overwhelming, but just take on pieces as you can and chip away at it, and then before long it'll be gone. Then you won't get triggered when things happen, and it'll be like, oh, well, that didn't feel good thinking about that, but I'm okay. It'll be coming to that point.
Right.
The solar plexus, let's see how that one is. That one's slow. That one was kind of hesitant. Now it's going into the big sweeping circle. And now it's going fast, not quite horizontal. What it's telling me is, as you gain more experience with this whole process, that's going to be getting your personal power up there, your self-esteem up there, your power of transformation. Your transformation has been happening. It's just you haven't seen the fruits of your labor yet entirely. And when you come into that, you are going to know. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't know I could feel this good. You're going to be in that point. But I'm seeing that, like, things picking up in 6 to 8 months, and then a year from now, you're going to look back and go, wow, I'm in a better place now. And, 2 years from now, you're not even going to recognize where you were starting out. So that's what I'm seeing. The heart chakra. Yeah. This is like helicoptering. So, yeah, that's definitely doing well. And again, if you go to write the book, I would include it while you're going through the process so that you don't lose the aspects that were tying you to the things that happened. Because once you get over the hump, it's going to feel like a lifetime ago. And it's not going to help people as well when you're kind of like looking at it from the outside in. But when you're going through it, that's going to help your process too. Like to kind of like purge as you're writing, and then people can identify with it better.
Right.
The throat chakra, and that's where I'm at too. Actually, we're really quite similar. And here's the throat chakra, and that one is like going like crazy. So yeah, just keep opening up with communication, because I'm having a hard time like even hanging on to this when I said that. The third eye is still a little bit wobbly. It's doing a big circle though. It's doing a big healthy circle. It's just a little wobbly, and I think that's going to come along in time as you gain more experiences and they become more positive. Then you'll be more in tune with what is, and you're going to be operating on a higher level frequency where you'll be open like a human antenna to the truth and mysteries, that mysteries of the world, mysteries beyond what we can understand right now as we evolve. The crown, let's see, that's our last one. Oh, wow, yep, that one's opening right up. It's a little wobbly, but it's hard to hang on to. And that's telling me that you are in the middle of you're ascending to higher levels of consciousness, and that's just going to keep improving and connecting you more with God. And yeah, so you are on the right track. It just sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
Okay, well, I thank you. Now,
you're welcome.
What do you feel? What about can you do my aura?
Yeah, let me see if I can do that, because I haven't done that in a while. But let me look on your picture again and see what I see. Okay, I'm definitely seeing white, yellow, and red. White, yellow, and red. And I know white is the purest one. And with that one, it reflects the other energies. It's a pure state of light. Often represents a new, not yet designated energy in the aura. And it has to do with transcending the higher dimensions, purity and truth, and angelic qualities. And it's a very good sign. So that does reflect what we were learning in the chakras. And with the yellow one, that relates to the spleen and life energy. It's the color of awakening, inspiration, intelligence, and action shared, creative, playful, optimistic, easygoing. Light or pale yellow, emerging psychic and spiritual awareness, optimism and hopefulness, positive excitement about new ideas. So that's very encouraging. Red is relating to the physical body, heart, or circulation. It's the densest color, and it creates the most friction. Friction attracts or repels. has to do with money worries or obsessions, anger or unforgiveness, anxiety or nervousness. Deep red is grounded, realistic, active, strong willpower, and survival-oriented. So the red is having to do with the trauma that's not yet fully healed yet, and it's kind of like the residual effects of it. It's not necessarily a horrible thing, it's just kind of reflecting what's happening right now. And having to do with anger or unforgiveness, that's something that as you work through this, you're going to be able to release it. And I think you're going to have a lot less red in like 6 to 8 months. And you don't have a ton of it right now. It's just, one of the things that's present in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you are going in a wonderful direction. And I can only hope to be going in that direction too. But, yeah,
that's
this
very
was
good news
great.
for me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, I'm seeing a little bit of light blue, and I want to see what that's about. Light blue. You have a positive and serene personality, and you're likely to always see the good in people.
That's good.
Yeah. So those were the things that I saw, and it does seem to relate to the chakras too. Now the red one, I would just make sure that, because that is related to the spleen and the heart and circulation, I would just make sure that you're doing heart healthy things.
Okay.
And yeah, stay away from things that could be toxins, whether it's cleaners or, the substances in our foods, things like that, additives and processed. I would, make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. You're getting fresh air.
That's mostly all I drink.
Oh, good. Yeah, things like that. If you're in a populated area with a lot of contaminants in the air, try to get out where it's fresh. Maybe get an air purifier. Maybe get a water filter, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you feeling pretty good now?
Yeah, I'm very relaxed.
Good. Good.
Kelly, Christine, we you mentioned one time if we have a psychic on, or if you ever have a psychic on, would you ever want to sit in and be like a second co-host?
I don't think I would co-host at this time. Maybe down the road I would. I would have to listen to some of the podcasts.
Is it because, you don't feel comfortable?
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh.
Oh, well. Well, you can always call in and talk to one.
Come on and talk to one.
Oh, that's cool. And there's also, there's also the possibility down the road when you feel comfortable coming on and being like an inspirational or motivational type speaker for people that are healing.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that.
That'd be very cool. Yeah, I think you can help a lot of people.
Do you mind if I ask what led you to want to get your chakras cleaned, or if you'd rather just, you said that you didn't feel aligned or something?
I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry.
Did you feel like, you said that you didn't feel aligned? Is that why you wanted your chakras done? Or?
Yeah, something felt off or stuck or something.
Okay.
Couldn't
Yeah, I feel
put my
like
finger on it, but that's how I felt.
yeah, and you were right that like kind of lodged itself in the root chakra, and then that was kind of like affecting different areas too.
Yeah, so I feel much better.
Good. That's excellent. Yeah, that's definitely what we want. But yeah, just make sure you're surrounding yourself with positive people, and people aren't trying to take advantage or drag you down or, complain all the time, because, it can affect us. And
Right.
you might find while you're going in the transformation that some people are going to kind of fall by the wayside, and then you'll meet new people and you'll have a lot in common. You guys will be boosting each other up as you raise your frequency, your vibrational frequency, and you keep ascending. Then that's just naturally going to happen. Like the people that can't relate, the people that are stuck where they're at, the people that aren't trying to do improvements on themselves, they're going to, kind of fall by the wayside just naturally, because, you'll be kind of passing them by. And some of them will think, oh, great, well, what is she doing? But it's because they can't see their own situation for what it is right now, and they're not ready to make that move.
Right.
And maybe later they will. But there are some people that don't like to understand something that they're not familiar with because they're afraid of it and they don't want anything to do with it. And sometimes self-improvement is that kind of thing for them because it's a change. And some people are
right.
really,
for the better.
Yeah. Some people are so afraid of change, it could be something for the better, and they're too afraid to even try.
Right.
And, that it's scary and it's unfortunate, but they can't be helped until they're ready. And, that's something that we have to remember, because sometimes we think we're not doing enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And, people in that position, if they're not ready, they may come back later on when they are. And, but the good thing is that you're planting a seed. So you're helping people get the possibility for change by seeing how you're doing and you're going through them.
Right. That's good.
And what they do with, so that, even in the people that you don't see a darn thing, and, you try to help, or, you don't see any good coming from it, that seed was planted. And that was you. So just remember that. You might not see the results. You might not see any of the change. They may not be ready, and they may not come to you later for it. But that seed is there. That they're going to start wondering about it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's a very important, good thing to remember, because I know sometimes it can be discouraging when you wonder, am I making a difference?
Okay.
So don't take it personally.
Things make more sense. No.
Good.
What?
I'm glad that we met again today, because, this has been an experience for me too.
We'll do this again.
What?
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I am looking forward to that.
Okay, are you talking, Jonathan?
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you have anybody that you would suggest for a chakra cleanse?
What about Heather Spytek, Christine Smith, maybe Michelle Bania?
Michelle Wu?
Michelle Bania.
Who's that?
I'll send you info. I'll message you the info.
Okay. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried contacting. I know that the only thing I've known about Christina Spytek is I've asked her, I said, would you be interested in me interviewing Christine Spytek? I like the post. You know, that's all I've ever gotten. In fact, I hardly ever heard Christine talk except for one video, you know. So, have you ever, like, met her in person? Or
Yeah, I met her when I was in Vegas over the weekend.
Christine Spytek?
No, she wasn't there. They had that convention for Glamour Under the Stars, so Michelle Drake was there. I sat next to her. Michelle Bania was there. Christine Smith, Shauna Sand, Brandy Roderick, Brooke Power, Danny Mathers. Gosh, there was a lot of them there.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it was fun catching up with them.
Yeah. Terry Lynn Doss is one I've been trying to get a hold of, but was she there?
No, she wasn't there.
Mm.
I'll ask around and then I'll message you about it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
And thank you guys
thank you
both. And we'll do this again soon.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, have a good
keep
night.
in touch. Thanks. You too.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.